Yes. Uh, Good evening, everyone. We are with 10th edition of the Bengaluru International Short Film Festival, and we are presenting Let's Talk. We are super excited today to have Padma Shri and National Award winner Shri Manoj Bajpayee with us, and a BISFF old favorite, talented filmmaker, published author, and poet Devashish. Thank you both for taking time and being with us today. Thank you very much, sir.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to brief a little bit about the festival. We are the India's largest short film festival, and we have a Oscar accreditation, which means the winning short films in the international and the Indian competition section are automatically eligible for consideration in the live action short film category of Academy Awards. So we got this year, and thanks to filmmakers like Dev, Hardik, many people who have been sending us short films, and we have been getting so much of accolades for it. So we just wanted to brief you about us a little bit. Sir, to start the conversation, I would like to start with, see, there are you have been getting so many film offers and web series offer, but you have been constantly working with filmmakers like Dave. Why shorts?
You've been constantly after that. Your voice went and came back.
Sorry, you have been constantly working with filmmakers like Dave.
I'm not getting your
Okay, Dave, are you able to hear
the
us? Hear me?
sound is
I
the
can
issue
hear.
there.
I can
You
hear.
can hear, but I can't hear him. I can hear
Oh,
you. Okay.
is my voice okay
Uh,
now, sir?
I can't hear you.
I have no idea what to do.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Let me
Why I
just
can't
mute.
hear? Can I just go log out and log in?
Sure, sir. Sure, sure.
Log
We'll
out
wait for
and
you.
log in.
We will wait.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. Dave, request you to please share this on your timeline. So,
I just did. I just
oh,
did.
great, great,
It's
great,
on my timeline as well.
fantastic.
In fact, just to tell the audience till Manoj sir comes back, that our association, Bangalore Short Film Festival, and ours is Tandav.
Yes.
We won in 2017.
Yeah.
Right.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Yes. All
Okay.
good.
Actually, they was just telling Tandav had won an award in our short film festival, and
Yeah, that
way back.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I'm very sorry. Uh, Thank you very much, Anand, for getting us into this chat and really, you know, willing to talk about our short film journey and also our small gem called Bhosle.
Yeah.
Having said that, I also apologize to all the viewers. Today I was dubbing and I lost my voice, but it's going to be a little,
Sure.
on the lower note. But yeah, I mean, Tando happened uh, because of Bhosle. Not many people know this. Uh,
mm,
uh, m- Dave met me with the script of Bhosle, and since then we've been trying to get finance for the film, and then we were getting quite restless and desperate to just go on the set. We had a chat on the phone, and this brilliant guy whose name Devashish Makhija, he just come up with the script, of Tando. In 2 3 days, he was ready. I am always very envious of people who can write that fast and can think of such ideas. I was anyway, and the Tando was an experience in terms of writing and filmmaking that I have witnessed, on the set while doing the role. Uh, Witnessed his brilliance, as a director, as somebody who was completely invested not only in the script, the film that he was making, the idea of uncompromising cinema that he was talking about, but he was also invested into little things about all the of all the departments, all the people that he has hired. uh, he's known them as if he's known them for years. So that's the beauty of Devashish Makhija, which completely mesmerized me. Uh, uh, a director, and then I has to be, and my conviction about him gotten consolidated and gotten only stronger and stronger, also because of Tando, because he was a director I have worked under his direction, and I have seen him in all circumstances, on the set, before the set, in the preparation. Yeah, so Tando was in a way set the ball rolling for both of us in terms of our association.
Very interesting. I have a connecting question for this. When I watched Tandav and Bhonsle, looks like Tandav was a prequel to Bhonsle in some way. The premise is the Ganesh festival. The protagonist is a constable. Both are silent in their own way, and it feels like, in a way, was that your thought, Dave, on this, or was it not at all connected and you went along with it?
No, like Manoj sir said, we were trying to make Bhosle 2 years before we even made Tandav. And
Okay.
because we got into production a couple of times and the producers backed out. So around the time 2015, Manoj sir had done a couple of short films that had gone viral. I had made a few short films, and it was him who said, let's make something smaller, a short film, show the world that this association is worth something. So the idea behind wanting to make Tandav was to prove to the world that a story of a Havaldar can be compelling. Because
Okay.
often when people read the script of Bhosle, they said it's a great script, but who wants to see the story of a Havaldar? I'm sure
Right.
all those people are, regretting it now, but we had to prove to them that there can be compelling dramatic cinema in the story of a Havaldar. So those similarities that you're pointing out were very conscious because we were trying to prove a point.
Right. Right. Sir, Manoj sir, is it important for an actor to I produce shorts also to look at new frontiers in acting?
I don't know, Anand, it has happened to me by chance. Uh, till Rajniti and Arakshan, I was waiting for the offers to happen,
Mm.
okay, in my career. And this is what each and every actor does. However small or big they are always depending on somebody else to offer them the job, okay? And when I was shooting for Gangs of Wasepur, that was the time that Galileo moment happened for me, okay? Uh, that was the time when I was interacting with so many new actors who are so big now. And we were sitting in a village, and it was a night sequence, and we were sitting around the fire because it was a winter season. I remember it very clearly that, you know, it started, happening inside me that, I have a little bit of name and credibility. Instead of waiting for things to happen to me, I should, it should, it should go other way around. I should look for the directors and the script. Uh, People who who have all the creativity in place, but they don't know how to get there, how to go there, how to contact an actor, how to get the finance, how to get the distributor in place, how to get it released. And I have never done all of this before, okay? But I said, since I have a fairly good name in the industry and a reputation I have because of this, these many years of working, I should just go ahead and attach myself with films and directors' vision, who I believe in, okay? The roles that I want to do. And that's how, things started changing for me in my career. Uh, being a producer, being becoming a producer is nothing. It's nothing just to push, by attaching my name uh, uh, as a production house is not, you know that independent films cannot make you a millionaire. You know this,
Right.
but attaching my name at the production name does nothing but it gives a lot of push to uh, to the film, to the film's marketing, to film's PR, and it becomes that one more thing with the film where people start talking about it. Like right now you are talking about it. Okay,
Right.
is that the whole intention is that. When people are talking about Bhosle or talking about Gali Guliyan, uh, all of these films, they know that Manoj Bajpayee has really invested himself into it completely, not
Right.
half-heartedly, not only as an actor, but he has invested himself from beginning till the end. So that was the idea, and it has paid off. It has really paid off. I think uh, people who are the major producers. I don't even know what are they going to do with the films. What are uh, the sales that they're going to make? Nor do I care. My whole purpose is to get the film made and put it out there. Okay,
Right.
and if it requires my name to be out there as a producer, as I don't mind it. I just need to push it. It's in a way, it's a selfish. You can say that it's a selfish intention, but I think there is no harm in it. It's a
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's completely no harm in it. Be it Tando or say or Bhosle or say Gali Guliyan, all of these films. I'm so proud of them. These are the films. They will define me in future. These are the films. They will make people to go back and revisit my filmography once I'm gone. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing it again and again.
So you're more like a entrepreneur with a startup idea of new films coming out and trying to invest with a new entrepreneur anytime.
I'm very greedy that way. You can ask Dave. I'm always after him to make another film with me. But this guy is completely, he's always kind of shrugging me off.
अरे नहीं
He's
नहीं.
running away.
Running away to the mountains.
No, not yet, not yet. Now I'm here for a
No, no,
while.
he is not somebody who'll run away to the mountain.
Okay.
No, 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 no. He's not somebody. He's not. He's, running away to the mountains. Kind of people. Me. He's that way of. He's quite a Marxist. He will stay here and keep on fighting till the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dev, why do
Yeah.
you think short films are important, and why do you need support of people like Manoj sir and others? Because when you get an idea, of course you need a support of a person who can come as a brand and come as a great actor. But what else do you think? Uh, uh, what else do you think short films need, and why do you think it is important today?
See, you've asked two different questions, so I'll answer one part of your question. Why do I think short films are important?
Yeah.
I always say that there is a freedom that that medium gives a filmmaker and author filmmaker, that a feature, almost no matter how independent that feature, complete freedom is not possible. Because the minute a certain amount of money comes in, whether it's 1 crore or 3 crores or 7 crores, you are responsible for creating a product, for lack of a better word, that will bring in some kind of audiences, so that your producers have at least some hope of some recovery. You have to think about that. You can't not think about that. And the minute you're doing that, that 100% freedom is not possible in the feature space. But with a
Right.
short, you don't even know which audience you're making that film for. You don't know who's going to watch it, when it's going to get watched, how it's going to reach those people. So when you're not worried about those things, that really frees you up. You can do whatever you want. And with a feature, my first cut of my film might be 2.5 hours, and then someone who's worried about the distribution will say, keep it under 2 hours. So there's all of that that goes into
Yeah.
shaping a feature, and not simply the director's prerogative. But with a short can be 1 minute, it can be 21 minutes, and nobody
Yes.
knows that it should be 10 minutes and therefore it will find more audiences. Nobody comes with those kind of parameters. So that
Mm.
freedom is not something that I think a filmmaker should ever want to give up on. So I want to make shorts till the day I die, because that freedom really recharges me for my feature film battle. So I see them as two very independent entities. And two, when it comes to say working with a Manoj sir on a Tandav, our prerogative then was very different. We wanted to show the world that our collaboration is worth something. So
Correct.
that drove us to make Tandav. So a lot of my other features, other short films, I've just made a short film with 35 actors in Bhopal. All of them
Wow.
are first timers. Some of them are non-actors. So none of those elements sort of come into play in a short. From short to short, our agenda changes because our whole idea is to have fun, is to find an original voice inside that short film. With Manoj sir, more than him being a name which actually helped the film, yes, was the freedom that he gave me.
Interesting.
He kept everybody off my back. He's like,
Yeah.
this guy knows what he's doing, let him do what he's doing. And I hadn't experienced that kind of freedom until I made Tandav. So it was the freedom that he gave me that was more important to me than anything else.
Very interesting. Manoj sir, as an actor, what are your risks with a short film versus a feature?
What are the?
What are your risks as an actor?
No. I think, when I'll tell you a very interesting incident. I I used to watch short films. Whenever there was something to be talked about, people used to forward it to me, or I was going by the suggestion by, say, on Anurag Kashyap's timeline and getting an idea which is the short film that I should watch. I have seen one or two of Devashish before. Um, but it's still, short film was still in its nascent stage when we made Tando. Dave, if you remember, it was still in its nascent stage. It was still struggling to, get there. Uh, One fine morning, my wife and me were having, tea, and that was the time she mentioned it out of the blue. She said, if you come in and you and Dave can make a short film together, then many other people who are established in the film industry as actors, they may think of venturing into it, and and suddenly it will become a very professional platform. And she said it out of innocence, out of nothing, because short film, again, I'm saying short film, as they were saying, that it doesn't it's just an exercise that you do for your personal reasons. It
Right.
is not something which gets you anywhere.
Mhm.
And when after Tando, in the manner Tando galvanized the whole momentum, that was something uh, that my wife was talking about. And suddenly everything, you know, s- so many newcomers, so many brilliant newcomers, and they started taking it very, very professionally. You won't believe that the mainstream award function, they never had this category. It's only because of Tanda that the category was formed. So this is the contribution of Tando, and this is what an established actor, uh, film actor, can do. You risk nothing. Um, you are actually showing the world that you are up for experiment. Actually, you are showing the world to be brave with your experiments, to be brave with your choices. You are telling all the actors out there who are willing to do something with themselves. You are showing them the way, that this is the platform. Come on, think of a brilliant idea, shoot it, and showcase it. Instead of sitting at home, you just you only require a 5D camera, or a phone, and shoot a film. Tell the world what about your worth, instead of telling each other, instead of telling yourself how great you are. Short film is giving you a chance to just go ahead, write it, direct it, act in it, and tell yourself and the world about your ability. So there is so much to gain from it, just by the nature of by the liberating nature of it. that that can actually do hell of a good to you. I mean, it has done so much good to me. It has told the world that Manoj Bajpayee can do this also. You know,
Absolutely.
it has shown a different aspect of Manoj Bajpayee. So I am thankful to Tando and two, three, short films that I have done.
Very interesting. For you, when you write out a short film, what are the thoughts which are coming in your mind? What is the first thing which makes you start writing a short film?
All those ideas and politics and anger that is inside me that I might have trouble to put in a feature and find backing, I put in my shorts. That is my only and first and final impulse. All the things I can't say anywhere else, I say in my shorts.
So,
Because of the
short
freedom,
film.
no?
Yes, yes, exactly. And is that a risk in a way, because you're putting out something which you can't put in a feature, and remember, shorts are more viral than a feature. Shorts can go anywhere to any platform. So isn't that a risk in a way?
No, I mean, it's like Manoj sir was saying, it's the opposite of a risk. Because
Okay,
when we are putting our ideas and our philosophies and our politics in our films, we want them to reach out. And the
exactly.
kind of features we make, like we made Bhosle in 2018, started its festival journey then, it's released now.
Yeah,
So I can't control the journey of a feature, but to some extent, I can control the journey of a short. To some extent, I can put it up on YouTube for lack of
yeah,
any better channel. So
yeah.
that being able to reach my ideas out to the world is not a risk; it's a pleasure, and shorts empower me to do that.
Excellent. And Manoj sir, what are you looking from a filmmaker when he comes with a story to you as a short film?
Oh, since beginning, for me, I I always look for that originality in a filmmaker. Uh, I people who believe in their craft and the genre that they are they are offering me. I want to I really want to see them very think they're thinking very original, and they completely believe in it. You know, you laugh at me, but I must tell you one thing. Uh, Forget about Devashish Makhija. When I'm working with Milab Zaveri, who's making Satyameo Jayate, uh, when I look at him and I see that this guy, completely believes in this world. You know, he completely believes in this world, and he doesn't know he doesn't want to get out of that. Rather, he thinks that he belongs to the world that he is trying to put it out there on screen. Similarly, what I like about Devashish Makhija kind of directors, that they are, these are the people who change cinema. These are the people. I mean, uh, say, stating that think out of box is very easy, but doing it is very difficult.
Yeah.
With Devashish kind of people, that doing is comes very easy because that's the way they are. They
Mhm.
don't know anything better.
Right.
Doing things differently is part of their DNA. They can't change themselves.
Yeah.
They and when they come to me, when he comes to me, or Atanu comes to me, or Dipesh Jain of Gali Gulia comes to me, when I talk to them, I their philosophy, their idea of filmmaking somewhere changes something inside me. I feel that there are so many things which were getting rusted. These kind of filmmakers suddenly come and they polish it.
Yeah.
They just take out the rust of the edges. So they not only make a film with me, they improve me again. They rekindle my love for cinema or acting. They challenge me. So I'm looking for those kind of ideas. I'm looking for those kind of Devashish kind of filmmaker all the time, who can come, take off the rust which is kind of compiled there, and again refresh me. If and if I get that, I immediately just go ahead and lap it up.
Sir, I'm sure a lot of filmmakers are watching this, and I'm sure they have so many ideas to reach out to you. So I am the one question everybody will have is how do I reach to Manoj Bajpayee? To
You know, Anand, I must tell you, Devashish will let you know. I mean, Devashish knows it. I myself call them. I know. I was shooting for Family Man season 2 in Chennai, and when I was going there, I made a list of the directors that I wanted to get in touch with.
Very nice.
Okay, so uh, independent film directors are the directors who matter a lot in
Yeah.
today's cinema. And I used to call them. I used to call them. Either I used to go to their studios wherever they were working, or I used
Mm.
to call them over to my hotel. Similarly, for Malayalam film directors, there are so many.
Yeah.
I want to work with Lizzo. I'm after him. You know, that and what a mind he is, Devashish, and he's not making a film with me. And every time he says that, sir, I'm writing something, I'm writing something, and 3 years has gone by, and he's still not come up with a script. I keep telling Sanal Sridhar,
Yeah.
Sanal Sridhar, please make a film with me, or Gitu for that matter.
Yeah.
So I'm just when I'm talking to you, I a script has come to me through a friend of mine, and that this director has never made anything. He'll be shooting a short film now.
Okay.
Okay, so I am committed to do that film with him. Okay, not a short film, the film that he'll be making. So
Right.
I myself, you know, myself, I'm looking for those directors and those scripts. That's my need. It's not their need to take me. It's my need to be part of those films, because I know one thing for sure, that Devashish's venture. I hope that will Devashish will make more films with me. But Devashish's Tando and Bhosle will always uh, uh, these will be the films which will really excite people to talk about whenever they will think of my filmography, whenever they will think of my film's journey.
Absolutely. Sir, we will, as a festival, we will promise you that we get the best films in India, and we will make a package of it and send it to you so that you can see what kind of filmmakers are there. And if you want to contact them, we'll be more than happy to get in touch with them. And we hope
Right.
this platform and this festival can get them an opportunity to work with you.
Oh, definitely. I'm always looking for talent. Always, always.
Great, sir. Great. Sir, keeping in time, I think it's already 30 minutes. We didn't know
No,
how
you
it.
can, you can, you
Yeah,
can go on. Yeah.
great. Thank you. Devashish, what are your thoughts when you work with young talent with you who are your associate? Like for example, I should say Arun Fulara, who was your associate. His film is actually in our competition section this
In
year.
competition. Yeah.
Yeah, his Sunday. So it's very heartwarming to see people who have worked with with you and other people are also making their own content and coming up and submitting to festivals, and we get an opportunity to look at them. How do you train them on sets, and how do you make them learn better? As a now you're moving on to the next level.
So I think it will be arrogant to assume that I'm training them or anything of that sort. I think what really helps working on my films, because my films are really hard to work on. I push people to work 16 hours a day, and I really push to get as much authenticity in the frame as possible. And I have a lot of people quitting. The
Mm.
number of people who last till the last day of my shoot or my post production are generally not the people who started out, because a lot of
Okay.
people quit. It becomes really intense. So the people
Okay.
who stay, what I like to do is give a lot of freedom. There's a lot of discussion. It's not just me alone who's making a film. I look at it as a way of taking the pressure off me. How much can one man remember? So I keep dissipating information and making it very, very, in for lack of a better word, democratic in terms of ideation. So I push people to think for themselves. Like if someone's going looking for locations, I might be specific about what I need, but I also encourage them to think on their feet and not get stuck on the brief that I had given them. So it so happens that by the end of a film, having worked with me, maybe they feel empowered enough to be able to imagine things for themselves.
Very, that's a good point you brought in, because see, when you're talking about talent and giving them freedom, I saw in one of the interviews when you were working on Bonesley that you experimented a lot during rehearsals, and when it came onto the set, it was, it was not too much of giving it freedom on that point of time.
Yeah.
Manoj, sir, what was your take on Devashish's direction in that way compared to other? Because you work with so many of them right now, and the rehearsals normally what we see is there is some kind of freedom and experimentation which happens on set.
Yeah, I mean, see, with him, there are, both the sides. We've been, sitting on the script uh, now and then. In 4 years, we've been, trying to put the film out there on the set. But every time he was redrafting, and every time when he was coming up with a new version of the script, we were actually sitting on it. We were sitting and talking. He loves to, he
Hmm.
loves to work on each and every character. Loves to give you the backstory. He is excited when if you ask him any question, he has so much to talk about. So these are the things I love to hear from my directors. And those are the things, invariably push me into the skin of the character. Invariably. I love to listen to my directors. And also, then the shooting, just before the shooting days, he also believes in the workshop. So I was in the workshop too. Rather, he gave me a freedom to conduct the workshop, for all the actors. Uh, when we are doing prosthetic, also he's there, talking about the character, talking about each and every wrinkle, and the idea behind those wrinkles. And when on the set, when he's telling you about where the character is coming from and where he's going, he's also listening to you if you have something to say, and talking to you, having a conversation, and trying to find uh, a better understanding of the character in that moment. Okay, so is very in a very subtle way, his energy makes you makes you think again and again and again and again, because he's welcoming, and he's telling you, he's welcoming and he's telling you, so that you are going to be heard. That your suggestions are going to be talked about, are going to have going to create conversation. So this is exactly what I want, as an actor, from my directors, to give me that stimulus to keep thinking about it. As he said it about his assistants, that he wants them to think about themselves, think you know think think about the scene, think about their departments all the time, keep adding. And this is exactly what he does to actors like me. I, the moment I used to come out of my van to go to the set, uh, I was thinking all the time, thinking. I'm in my chawl, I'm thinking, talking to him, and he's always makes himself available. But one thing which is so remarkable about him, I've never seen him so stressed out. Even if he was, uh, he never makes that stress an important thing when he's shooting with you.
Sir, I hid
Okay.
it from you. It came out all on my assistants. Arun will tell you about what he faced from me. I'm a monster with my all the stress comes out there because I always protect the actor. I need the actor to not be affected by
Yeah,
my
that's what
stress.
I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so many. I can go on and on about our shoot days and how I was helped by him, and even Jigmet,
Hmm.
our cameraman. Um,
Yeah.
it's the memory. I mean, we shot in 17, 18. I mean,
2017,
Dev.
yeah. 17.
Yeah, and the memories is so fresh as if it just happened,
Mm.
you know. Because it left such a lasting impression on my mind. You know, when I was watching it on Sony Live, and uh, each and every I knew who all were standing behind the camera. You know,
Mm.
every frame, every shot, I knew about the history. This doesn't happen. You forget. You know,
Correct.
because there are too many memories, so you forget. You tend to forget, and that's very human. But with Bhosle's, something so it is so precious. The memories are so precious of Bhosle that I remember what all was happening when I was doing that a particular scene or a particular shot. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, you can write a book actually on the making of Bhosle.
Yeah. Actually, good that we brought up the camera work. The last scene,
Mm.
especially in that
Mm.
2x4 space where both are fighting, I was trying to wonder, okay, where is he holding the camera? Where is he holding the camera? And I'm trying to look at, and my wife is judging me. Who is doing photography? Who is it? Who is it? I'm like, just hold on. I want to see the scene first. So it's such a brilliant. How means what was the thought? Because you could have easily done it in an open space. You had so many options, but to construct it into a closed space and making the audience feel, also blocking their minds that they can't go out anywhere else. What was the thought and what was the idea behind it?
First, actually, I would like Manoj sir to tell you how it was shot.
Okay.
It is the ultimate improvisational approach, where
Okay.
the actor becomes cinematographer.
Oh,
Right. Yeah, it was quite a job, you know. Uh, First he told me in the big, I mean, few days before the shoot, he told me that, we are going to shoot it with an iPhone. An iPhone will be attached either here on our chest or on the head. So I didn't know, I mean, how they are going to pull it off, because in many ways we are quite novice. Because we are actors, we are quite, left out of the planning. Um,
Mm.
but when I reached there, they were ready with a helmet, and on just on the head of the helmet, uh, uh, there was a iPhone attached to it,
yeah,
and there was so many technical things that Jigmet was doing with it, and but it was amazing. Suppose I have a scene with you, and I'm the camera,
yeah,
so my hand has to come to hit him.
yeah,
So I'm doing it exactly in the manner that it crosses the lens,
Mm.
and it also covers the face of the actor, and give him all the space to act, and also giving an idea about the movement of the Bhosle, with the
yeah,
camera.
yeah.
So you are not only a cameraman, you are also an actor, okay, who is giving cue to your fellow actor,
Correct.
okay, and also giving an idea to the audience that it's Bhosle who's there, because through the
Mm.
camera with his movement,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So it was technical, it was very technical, but at the same time it was too responsible,
Mm.
either for Santosh, who
Yeah.
was playing Vilas, or
Mm.
for me, but I found, for me it was like a toy, that
Okay.
day.
Mm.
Yeah. And Devashish, we finished it quite fast. You remember?
Yeah, we had a shift. We
Yeah.
finished it in half a shift.
Oh,
Yeah, half a shift we finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
I remember
Yeah.
one moment when, so my whole idea with this scene is something that I'm also exploring in every short film. Like in Tandav, also, at one
Mhm.
point when he starts dancing, people fish out their cell phones. And then
Yeah.
I cut to that vertical image. And so I've always been working slowly towards a place where you make the cinematographer invisible, and the
Right.
actor dictates the motion of the camera. So even in the rest of Bhosle, the handheld, if you speak to my cinematographer Jigmet, we were trying to, with every character, the energy and the speed of the camera changes. So we were
Yes.
trying to catch and internalize the pace of every character. That reaches a culmination in the climax, where the camera becomes the character. So there was this one moment inside the toilet where Manoj sir, that moment where you pushed Vilas and he goes away from the
Right,
camera. That was
right,
improvised
right.
by Manoj sir, and I remember that I called cut. He came out and he said, "Watch the shot. You will kiss me after it." And I saw it like, "Fuck! I didn't imagine this," but he discovered it because he became one with the camera, and that was the
Right,
whole journey of the camera over Bhosle to arrive at a place
right.
where the cinematographer becomes invisible.
I
Very
mean, yeah, I
interesting.
mean, it's a, as I said, it's a toy, that which is given to actors, and it's also learning. It's also
Yeah.
learning that you all of these years that you have, have been acting in front of the camera, and suddenly the camera is with you,
Yeah,
Mm.
and you are given this job by the cinematographer and the director, you know, to really use it responsibly.
yeah,
So, and this is exactly we do as actors, that we 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 act responsibly. At the same time, we try to surprise our director.
Mm.
Okay,
yeah,
so this is exactly what was happening with the camera. Also, I wanted to give him a surprise. Look, Dave, look. I mean, like a
Yeah.
baby who find a toy.
yeah.
I was getting. It was quite a moment,
Mm.
Anand. I think
Very, very nice.
the few of the moments that I will never forget, uh, when we are making Bhosle. One definitely is the first day shoot of Ganpati
Yeah,
Visarjan, and few of the moments, like all silent moments, when I'm mm, washing the dishes or washing the clothes, and uh, lighting the stove. Uh, I For me, I don't know, for some reason I don't remember shooting for those dialogue sequences where I'm confronting Vilas. For some strange reason, I only remember those silent moments. When I'm sitting on the chair, uh,
yeah.
or having vada pav. All of these moments, I remember it, quite fondly.
Very interesting. And if I may just take this opportunity to just share with you and the viewers the trailer of Bhonsle so that we can also remember and enjoy the moment. So I'll just share
Yes.
my screen. It will just come up in a minute.
Okay.
Right.
अरे भैया लोग, तुम लोग को बोलता है मैं, ये महाराष्ट्र से फर्क के मानुस का है और किसी का नहीं, समझे क्या? भैया भैया अपने मुल्क में जाके बना मानुस का गणपति बैठा है इधर। पिछले एक हफ्ते से सिर्फ मराठी चिल्ला रहा है। ये भोसले काका अपना साथ देंगे। मराठी मानुस, मराठी गाओ, भोसले काका अपने साथ है। काका कब मैं हाँ डॉक्टर बोले ब्रेन ट्यूमर है, स्टेज 4। हम दूसरे डॉक्टर का अपॉइंटमेंट ले लिया है। कुछ पता चला किसने किया? तूने किया, तूने किया, देखिए, इधर देख, इधर देख, तूने किया, हाँ।
Was, loved it, especially that scene when you are confronting him. Actually, when I was watching it, I started going back, unconsciously. It's so powerful that it's as if
मूवी हो या वेब सीरीज, क्राइम थ्रिलर की
sorry,
बात हो
one
तो
second.
इंडियन क्रिएटर्स चीर फाड़
Sorry,
देते
sorry, sorry. So
Yeah, I mean,
it was so brilliant in that way.
that's one of the initial moment for I. Remember, we were struggling as to what kind of attitude Bhosle should have.
Mm.
Uh, and the whole hand moment that he caught was it was his, he improvised it, improvised because he saw the hand moment of mine. It was also, it was also showing the restrained anger of this guy,
Mm.
you know, Bhosle. Uh, when and it also shows the backstory. Just the hand moment shows the backstory of the man he used to be. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
For uh, for me, it was that his and even in the end, that you see a glimpse of uh, Bhosle of his young age, Bhosle.
Yeah.
You know,
When he bangs the door
he's
and the energy.
when he's bang the door, against his illness, again, he's going against the energy that he is left with. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I'm see Devashish. I remember, so I still remember
Mm.
the thought behind each and everything. Uh, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm the Anand. What I'm feeling so overwhelmed about that. You know, we have not thought. We actually thought that this film is going to be appreciated by a segment which has been
Mm.
watching independent films, and this film has been appreciated throughout the festivals. That
Yeah.
was expected. That was, this is something that we all look forward to. I was not expecting what has been happening
No,
since the
at all.
time it started streaming till now. When you are talking to us, it is also showing a huge hope
Yes.
to the young filmmakers. It is giving. I hopefully it has given loads of confidence to all the actors that they should really attach themselves and push independent cinema, because mainstream cinema get you mullah on the box office, which is very important
Yes.
for the industry to run. But independent cinema gets uh, it changes all genre completely. It
Absolutely.
has from Satyajit Ray or Ritvik Ghatak uh, till now, to young filmmakers like Devashish and Rag, all of these guys, they themselves they don't know how they have changed the mainstream cinema, you know, and how mainstream cinema contents have changed. So independent cinema has that power to really change the mainstream cinema and how the story should be told. Yeah, Abba, you can say hi to them. She loves
I
to be in front of the camera.
Sure. Great. This is really great. Uh, Dev and Sir Manoj sir, with this OTT coming in, is this a big boost for independent cinema in a way?
Yeah, Dev, you go.
100%. 100%. A film like this, A, cannot dream of a theatrical release, and B, even if it has a theatrical release, it won't last 3 days in the halls. Because if not the audience, the theaters only bury these films. They don't give you the right shows, they don't allow your hoardings up there, they take your posters down. So
Yeah.
OTT is I couldn't believe that an audience was out there waiting for my film. It's an OTT that made this possible. So without
You
doubt,
know,
I wouldn't exist without an OTT.
Anand, I must tell you that, I have been working in cinema since 25, 26 years, and after Satya, I have been very actively, been part of, cinema of all kind. Uh, it's a very unfair business, okay? It's very unfair, it's unfair especially unfair to independent small films.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have a backing of big houses, so the going becomes so tough that at times you feel like not doing it at all. Okay,
Right.
but sometimes you start questioning your conviction about it. Um, I've gone through it so much, Anand. But there's a film called 1971. I'll give you an example. All the new actors that those days new actors, and Kumud and
Mhm.
Mano Kaul and Deepak Dobriyal, all of these guys were new. And that film came and gone. 10 films were released that day, didn't get right theater. Even the posters were not up there. Now the same film is put on YouTube by the producer director after 13 years, and suddenly people, 20 million and above people have seen in 2 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so this tells you the scenario of the theater viewing, I mean, theater release in India is very unfair. You don't give an opportunity to audience to decide for themselves. Rather, you are, the big people are deciding for, deciding what people should see and what people should not see. This is where it's so unfair, and this is where Bhosle kind of film would have found very difficult to be released. And had it been released, one show here, one show there, 10 o'clock morning show, when you don't even go to watch a mainstream film. Okay, so all the wrong shows will be given, and suddenly, without letting you know, after 3 days, the film will be taken off. Exactly the same fate Budhia Singh or Gali Guliya, all of these films of mine have met.
Yeah.
So I'm somebody who have experienced it. I have gone through the drill. I've gone through that, that that tough process of releasing the film and really feeling humiliated again, coming out of it, and ready with another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then you have Bhosle coming in and going on a OTT and finding such a huge mass of audience, uh, which is not getting tired
Hmm.
uh, of really recommending the film, is not getting tired of really making art in tribute to the film. It's so overwhelming. It's this is
Yeah.
OTT is giving you a fair deal. If you think your film is good,
Yeah.
here is a equal opportunity for you.
Right.
Just go ahead and prove it to the audience. There is an audience. There is a subscription. People have taken subscription. If you can get them to watch your film, well and good. So yeah, I mean, it's a fair deal which I have been looking for, and I we found it in the form of OTTs, and the proof is 1971 on YouTube and Bhosle on Sony Leaf.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I think it's great, sir. See, we have been following filmmakers like Dev, Hardik, Devanshu, Sudhanshu, like for years because of their short films. We have been looking at, okay, when are they coming in? And it's heartwarming for a platform like Festival for us that these filmmakers are moving to the next level. And with especially platforms like these, all the OTT, it is making the regular audience sit at home and watch these films because, like, I'll give you a classic example. There's the Angamali Diaries, which the Malayalam film in
I
Bangalore.
know.
Bangalore, it was running one show somewhere like out of the city, and we group of friends got together, found the producer, made a show specially to watch for all of us. Got the movie down with I think Cinepolis. The Lijo was so happy with it that he flew down to watch it with us for the film. And it's heartwarming that a director watches with you and talks to you after the film. But now because of OTT, all these films are available to us and with proper subtitling, and we can understand the language, whichever language it is. So it's been great, and we are looking forward to so many filmmakers like Dev and others that we get to watch great content going on, and with support from people like you, I think it will be a new world and new content to watch for. So with this, I would like to go for a couple of questions, which a lot of people are messaging on our right. And if you don't mind, we'll take a couple of them and then
Yeah,
probably
please.
say thank you
Yeah.
for them. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think one of the questions is Agli Bar Tandav Aji Bhonsle, filmography of Devashish sir. Thank you, and thanks Manoj Bajpayee sir for supporting these efforts by Nagesh. These are
Thank
comments.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Shailesh is asking, could you tell me what made you choose the role of Sardar Khan and how did you prepare yourself for the role? That was not stereotypic.
Oh, the whole idea was that, when Anurag and me started talking, the whole idea was doing doing this film without any hint of mainstream thing that we've seen earlier, and rather think of breaking all the stereotypes, and also getting a shaved off head was
Yeah.
part of it. That you have a protagonist who who has everything wrong going. Okay, everything which is not conventional is, he has it. वो गंजा है, and
Mm.
बाल shave करता है, and he's a lecherous guy. He's somebody who's not faithful to his wife. Um, somebody and he's so cold blooded. Everything was just uh, but still we are trying to make a mainstream film, with that kind of a story. uh, so the preparation was that, I did want to make him look like a gangster. Rather, I was working more on his raw sexuality than anything else.
Interesting. And what was one of the question is, how do you prepare for a role of a character? For example, even Bonsley, it's so different because he's so silent. I mean, we have seen your roles where you're always talking. Your character, your dialogue delivery is something we look forward for as an audience. But in Bonsley, they've completely changed. He's made you silent completely in the film. Is hardly making you talk, and we are like, what is happening? So, how do you prepare?
Anand, let your viewers know that I am happy not saying any dialogue. You know, I'm I love to get into the skin of the character. I love it. I love to prepare. I love to behave like. I love to think about the character. Love to get into it. Even when I'm at home, doing helping my wife in the daily house, all the chores. I love to be in the character. I love to think about it 24/7. Any with Bhosle, he reduced the dialogue portion from 100 to 10. uh, but I hardly complained about it, because and I don't know whether you notice this or not. I think Dev has noticed it, that every time Bhosle has to say anything, he finds it very hard. It comes out with great
Yes.
difficulty.
Yes.
He's not somebody who likes to express. He's not somebody who's a conversationist. He's not. He hates talking
Yeah.
to anybody. He hates take expressing himself to anyone, even to his seniors. You know, so he finds it very difficult to utter even a word, utter even a sound. So uh, doing a silent role is is my favorite. And Dev has given me that chance to really, to be in that zone where you are just being the character with all, you're just into the character with all your being. I just love that. I just love that.
Interesting. Uh, Dev, there's a question for you. What are the directorial aspects of film Bhosle from a filmmaker's point of view?
It's
I'm trying to understand what
hardly
he's
a
asking.
question. He's
Yeah.
asking it for an essay. But what I will do instead is I will actually want to add to what Manoj sir was saying about the silence of Bhosle. So the with Bhosle, because we had the benefit of many years, the film was not getting made since 2014. And when you have time, the benefit of time allows you to explore the idea cinematically. So, like Manoj sir said, with every draft, my one primary objective was to keep taking away Bhosle's lines to make the exploration of Bhosle more cinematic. Because
Okay.
dialogues, yes, sometimes even I enjoy watching dialogues in a good film, like Tarantino. You watch his films for the repartee. But
Yes.
dialogue is something that is very theatric. You get a lot of dialogue in theater. You rely on information being presented to an audience that's sitting 30 meters 50 meters away from you. You have to rely a lot on dialogue. But in cinema, you have a lot of elements. You have light, you have color, you have the choice of lens. You go close, you go mid, you go wide. You have so many elements that you can play with to capture what that character is communicating with you. Why
Okay.
should I rely on dialogue? So the benefit of time and the benefit of having Manoj Bajpayee allowed me to see how far I can push this cinematically and not
Okay.
have to rely on the crutches which are not cinema to begin with. So
Very nice.
that was actually an objective for me. Can we pull this off? And so over those many years, we just kept taking lines away until we reached a place where it was purely cinematic. The performance is cinematic. The way it's captured is cinematic. It doesn't feel theatrical anywhere.
Yeah. No, it's beautifully done. If I may request, actually, would it be possible to put out the script of Bhonsle to the world
Yeah, yeah,
for?
I'd be happy to. It's a question for the producers, but I'd be happy
Okay.
to whenever.
Great. Thank you. Manoj sir, when can we expect your next work? And sorry, that is for Dev. When can we expect your next work? And Manoj sir, when will Family Man Session 2 be out?
There, go ahead.
You don't ask an independent filmmaker when to expect. I don't know when to expect my next work. Fight चालू है.
फाइट चालू नहीं है, ये गलत बोल रहा है, मुझे सुनाया नहीं है इसने कुछ भी.
I
He
will
hasn't
disappear
told me
from
anything,
frame.
okay? Okay, the Family Man 2 is hopefully it will release by the end of this year. We are trying, I mean, Amazon is trying very hard. It's
Okay.
in the post-production. So yeah. Um, you can see my throat is gone only because I was dubbing for Family Man. So hopefully we also want Family Man to come this year itself, like all of these guys there. So yeah,
Yeah.
keeping my finger crossed.
Okay. Uh, Giridhar is asking, in Bhosle, the characterization of your role hits the viewer's heart, reminds of Arth Satya, stark and brutal. So, any comments for that, sir?
I
In
think
fact, I think,
Devashish should.
but Manoj sir, Om Puri is one of your favorites. So I think somewhere this is
Yeah,
a,
my most
yeah.
more actually my most favorite after Nasuddin Shah. Yeah, yeah,
Great.
it's
So
quite a compliment. Yeah, Devashish, please go ahead. Yeah.
no, this I have something to say about people say that your film is hard hitting. I don't know. You don't plan to make a film that is hard hitting. You just try and be honest to the things you want to say and how authentically you want to present it. So we weren't trying to make a hard hitting film. If it's hitting hard, good. But I don't know if we wanted to hit hard as much as we just wanted to be really, really authentic to what is happening in the world today.
Authentic. Yeah.
What we are feeling, the anger we are feeling, the disappointment we are feeling, the estrangement that we are feeling despite being part of one country. So when we put all those things into a film, people in this country aren't used to being faced with authenticity in films. We are used to being entertained. And when you
Correct.
take away entertainment and just hold up a mirror, it just feels like you're being hit hard. But we didn't try to hit you hard. It's just that you're not used to it.
Yeah.
It's just authenticity.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Arvind Kamath is asking, Manoj sir, you leching at the woman doing laundry. What was your motivation? How difficult was it to perform? It's one of his favorite
I think
scenes.
it's the yeah. I must say that it is the most difficult shot I have ever given in my life. Okay,
Mm.
ever. You know, and if you ask any of my friends and ask any family member of mine, you can ask Devashish, who's worked so closely with me. I the the one thing I've always hated in my life, okay, is finding men or boys lashing at women or girls. Even in Delhi, I used to get into fights. At times. Uh, Also, maybe because that's how I'm brought up. My family has been a mother-dominated family. I had three sisters, uh, but till now, I find it very unsettling. When I see a girl is walking and some men standing on the road, just giving a look, a, a longer than desired look is something that unsettles me completely.
Mm.
Uh, and to do that in Wasipur, it was the most difficult, shot or performance for me. Very difficult to play a lecherous guy, very difficult to play a womanizer, all of these things. Uh, uh, when she's making food and I'm just, looking at her from the back, looking at her like a sex object. Yeah, that was all of those things that I prepared myself. I prepared about the process. I prepared on the character for so long. So yeah, I mean, it was difficult. It was very, very difficult.
But as an actor, you have to perform, and I think that is where the your experience and your training comes through. Uh, I think we'll take last two questions. Oh, you can't hear me? Yeah, I can. We can
I
hear
can
you.
come back.
Yes, yes,
I
please,
just
please.
log out and come back.
Yeah, yeah, please, please, sir, please.
Okay.
Please do, please do. Devashish, how do you plan the time of a scene, and do you have any method for budgeting a scene in a minimal time without spoiling the quality? From Patrick.
No. Again, when I'm trying to arrive at a certain authenticity, there isn't. You can't be too specific about how long a scene will be,
Mm,
because when I'm trying to again achieve authenticity, I am also being open to a lot of energies, the energies of the space where we will shoot, the energies of the people that we are going to be shooting with, and the energies of the people that I will be eventually cutting the film with in the edit studio. So
mm,
those combined energies eventually form that final scene, which goes through so many iterations from the moment it comes as an idea in your mind. So you can't be so specific. You can only discover it. So again, there's one quote that I love using when I'm asked about these things. It's something that Paul Thomas Anderson said, and when you over his filmography, with every successive film, he has gone further and further away from being a studio filmmaker and has become more and more indie. So he says that he spends most of his time fighting for his right to discover his film. So much so that in his last two or three films, he's arrived on set without a bound script. And his
wow.
actors have trusted him and they have discovered the scenes together. He said that I cannot know what that eventual scene will look like. If I knew it, I would shoot it, I would act in it, and I would cut it. But I don't know, and I'm looking to discover it with the people I'm making that scene and that film with. So I use that as a guiding light. I'm always fighting for the right to discover my scenes. So
Very,
you
very,
can't know.
very, very interesting, because there is a follow-up question interestingly which asks about the color palette. When I was watching the film also, the color palette was beautiful. Means it was so nice to watch it, and the toning was so good. What was the your view on that?
Again, it was a process of discovery because this particular film, say for example, one of the many parameters that we had challenges that we had placed before ourselves was the climax had to be shot on iPhones.
Yeah.
Now, Bhosle's entire track inside the chawl is shot on a Alexa Mini.
Okay.
Vilas's entire track in his taxi is shot on a Sony A7S. The
Mm,
entire Ganpati opening montage and closing montage is shot on a Canon 5D, Canon 60D, and God knows how many other cameras. So,
mm,
in sum, this film was shot on many multiple formats. And to
okay.
grade and to arrive at one color palette that will not make you feel the jump in quality and the way the camera is interacting with the frame is
Mm,
not something you can plan. So again, we work backwards from the fact that the iPhone would not give us a very good quality image compared to the Alexa Mini. So we use that as a touchstone to work backwards and see what can we do with the other images to arrive
mm.
at some sort of a uniform look over the film. So my aesthetics, my DOP's aesthetics, the color graders aesthetics, all of these combine to arrive at what you see in the film. So it's always a process of discovery.
Very, very interesting. Sir, I think we'll close with this question. The question is, do you think quality films without star cast can receive the same response as a quality film with known actors?
Yeah, Devashish should answer
No,
this.
sir. Manoj sir will take this.
Although I must tell you one thing that you know, uh, a player is never bigger than the game. Okay, game is
Yeah,
always bigger.
yeah,
Sports is always bigger than the player. Okay,
right.
so cinema in this case is much bigger than uh, a known actor or not so known actor. Uh, Cinema is as a medium uh, actually makes the actor. You know, it instigates that conversation, cinematic conversation within the actor. Okay,
Hmm.
actor doesn't create that conversation within the cinema. You know, so we should not forget that. Uh, we are here because of cinema as a medium, cinema as a craft. Cinema is not here because of us. So this should be very, very clear in all of our minds that creative people need that medium. You know,
Hmm.
medium doesn't need that particular creative person. You
Right,
know,
right.
so cinema is never dependent on anybody, known or not so known. It is never dependent on anyone.
Beautifully said, sir. Sir, I thank you very much for taking this time out, and it's been a wonderful conversation. And I just saw the time; it's almost like we have spoken for 1 hour 20 minutes, and I didn't realize that the time has gone so much.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just wanted to say our festival is between August 13 to 16. I'll
Okay,
be very happy to send you a link so that you can watch it.
please
It's
do.
yeah, it's free
Yeah.
of cost for everyone. We
Hmm.
are not charging anything because we are doing completely online. And the only thing we
Uh-huh.
are asking people to donate is so that we can pay the winners of the festival
Right.
some small amount, which Devashish will remember remember us for.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing we are doing, and we are also one part of the donation will go to a non-profit who are working towards COVID patients and stuff and other things. So this has been our effort this year, and we are trying to have these conversations with people like you, so that young filmmakers get energized and are very happy to go forward with your support with people like you. So we just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you again, and we look
Thank you.
forward to interact with you again. And thank you very
Yeah.
much for joining us with us. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir.
Thanks, Anand.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Dave.
sir.
Bye,
Bye.
Anand. Bye.
Bye.
Dev, thank you very much. Guys, it was a wonderful conversation. I really enjoyed it. I just wanted to add one more bit that for Kannada filmmakers, we are starting a new program with Katte Movies. They have come forward to produce one short film. So we are doing a small competition. We are going to announce it tomorrow at 6:30 on our social media. This is going to be a competition where a filmmaker will just pitch. They have to do nothing, but they will do a video pitch of 3 minutes, and they have to submit it. They have to submit their idea, and this will be open only for short films which are to be made in Kannada, Tulu, Konkani, or any of the Kannada dialects. And this is a support which has come from Arvind and Avinash Tingeri, who have been a very big part of the Kannada film industry. So this is what we are trying to do from the Bangalore International Short Film Festival. Again, I just wanted to remind you, our festival will be from August 13th to 16th, 2020, and it will be completely online and free. Our website is open. We are also, as I told earlier, that we have open for donations so that we can support these young filmmakers and support a non-profit which is working towards COVID patients. So thank you very much today for joining, and I hope you will join us tomorrow to hear more about this pitch which we are trying to do. This is all. We are going to end this session for now. I thank you very much again. Good night. Be safe.